Hey, Jacques.
Yes. Do I say yes?
Sure. Do you ever feel like we should stop celebrating the patriarchy?
Mm-hmm.
Just a casual Phoebe question for you.
Oh, Lord. I don't know. Like, yes.
Is the
No.
question, can we ever stop celebrating the
Yeah.
patriarchy?
Yeah. Do you ever feel like we keep we
We
celebrate
keep
the patriarchy too much? We keep celebrating the patriarchy. I don't know.
Do you ever
Yeah.
feel like we keep celebrating the patriarchy?
Hi, I'm Jacques.
Hi, I'm Phoebe. Welcome to Do You Ever Feel Like?
Where we ask the questions that everyone's thinking and no one's answering.
How's it going, buddy?
The other day I was thinking about will I ever be can I make what I want to make and not be who I am? And the answer is no. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
No, I understand exactly what you
Do you
mean.
know what I mean?
I mean,
will I be Debbie Allen in a rehearsal room?
mm-hmm.
No. That's
Yeah.
not. I will be falling over my water bottle. And that's what it is.
You know who I think I am? Like,
Who are
for
you?
real? Every time I see a tall, long-haired, like a Jemima Kirk-esque, braless and she doesn't care, and a dress from just, was under her bed,
Perfect.
I
Yeah.
think that's me. And guess who that is not?
That is
Not even kind of fucking me, even at all. And I see these women. I'm being so rude right now. This is full on. This is not mean. This is not me trying to be mean. I see them and I'm like, one of us.
I know.
I see them and I'm like, we are the same thing. Not like I'm literally everything. I think I'm so cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm cool.
I don't know.
And I'm just simply not. And I'm
Yeah.
just simply not.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm cool. I think I'm cool. I think I'm allowed to say that. I'm cool.
I mean, I'm cool in my own way, and I'm
Right.
cool because I am not fucking cool, But,
yeah. No. I'm cool in my own way
I'm cool
too.
because I'm cringe.
My friend, my sister, my good friend and I, we always talk about this idea of the people that are just effortlessly cool, that are you could just
yes.
tell that's the person that got the clothes under their bed, right? Yeah. I'll never be that person.
No.
There's this person.
Mm-hmm.
This is so creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Who lives okay, so there are two people on my block.
Oh, they're specific ones. Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, what must it be like to be you? You know what I mean? Those type of people. And one of them, I want their life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You look at them. One of this is an older lady with her partner, and they sit on the bench and they have their dogs on their feet. And it's every morning with a cup of coffee, and then every 5 o'clock with a wine, and the hats. She's got a whole hat collection.
Yeah, they always have hats.
I'm like, you have a hat.
Yeah.
I love you. And then there's this other person who's exactly rides their bike.
Yeah.
Every time I see them, they just hop off their bike and and lock it really quick, and then have their bags that are so whatever, and then they just trot up the stairs, and I will never be that person. I will always be the one that's falling off my bike.
Yes.
Trying to lock it. I don't even know how to ride a bike. I mean, I do, but not for real. No, like she's just like, and then like the effort, like
Yeah.
the
No.
clothes that like are linen but not wrinkled. Like it's
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is this? Like, who are
She
you?
emits 60% humidity from her skin at all times. So the wrinkles just fall away the second she gets up. Yeah.
I know. And then like always with a book, or like you
Yeah.
could tell this person is like very like, I don't know, French. I mean, if we're talking about it, that's really the goal, right?
Don't even
Like,
talk. Okay,
like
speaking of humidity, apparently the like French bob has to do with humidity. Like the humidity in
oh,
France,
that
my
makes so
hairdresser was
much
telling me
sense.
this. Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh,
Yeah, like
I know. I know.
I I will never be, and I think like, do you try? I don't know. Like, I want to know if they try.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so I don't know if you know this. This is like this could be a segment. Me educating you on things happening on Have you heard of That Girl? Do you know what That Girl is on TikTok?
No.
Okay, it's like okay, I'm probably going to get this wrong too because I don't even really think I understand it myself, but it's
Okay.
That Girl aesthetic where like you're trying to be that girl. Like you're trying to be that girl. You get up, you get up at like 5 a.m., you have your water, you make like a smoothie bowl.
Mm-mm.
And it all is like everything is a kind of this like everything has this beauty, everything has this performance to it. Everything is you're trying to be that girl. Your hair
Yeah.
isn't frizzy. That's what I
Yeah.
always see. I think that's what I want.
Yeah.
I just want less frizzy hair in my life. And that's
Yeah.
just not me. You can round brush this hair all you want, baby. And guess what? It is frizzy.
For sure. Like the Instagram girl.
Yes, 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 yes. But it's like people are trying like it's like trying to be that girl. But like
Oh.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what? People really like to kind of shit on. I think this is like wrapped up. This is actually great. Could be potentially a
We're gonna
great segue.
bring it around.
People like to shit on women. Like,
Hmm.
and people really like to shit on this idea, like not trying to be that girl or now there's this concept of like the 5 to 9. So it's either 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. or 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Like with the activities that you're doing. Maybe it's like a side hustle. Maybe it's like your chores or whatever that you're like,
Oh.
vlogging on TikTok or whatever. And people are like, I think there's like a refinery 29 or like about I can't remember. There's been like a couple of articles people being like the performance of doing all of these things, but it's like no one fucking says this shit about men, you know?
Oh no. No, 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 no.
Like
No.
we gotta like lift each other up. Come on, ladies. Come
I
on,
also think
women.
it's like, again, it's like nobody wants to deal with them with themselves. Like we don't want to deal with ourselves.
No.
And the reality is that I want to be that girl.
Oh my god, that's
Do you
what
know
I
what I
was
mean?
totally. I want
Like
hats. I want a bike. I want to get
I
my
do
period and for
want
it to not ruin my fucking life.
exactly. I do
Like
want to
she
be that
doesn't get
girl.
her period and she doesn't get it all over her pants every time. Like she's 12.
Yes, I think like I don't know, it's just like I don't know. And then like that girl too has all sets of problems. She's got
Sure.
issues. Like
Sure.
she's, and like I don't know, it's just like again, like are we doing the whole thing of like if you get something, then that means I don't get something? And
Yeah.
is even if these things are jokes, right? Even if
Mhm.
we're kind of like, are we reinforcing that idea of the zero sum?
Mhm.
Like we all can't be that girl because we
Mhm.
can be. We can be.
But like what's if you can do something that makes your life like a 10% more delicious,
Who
my
like
friend,
please
please go
do
right
it.
ahead. Make your laundry aesthetic. Romanticize the shit out of wherever the fuck you're up to. Because guess what? You turn around, the dumpster fire is still there.
This is like who you were sharing me with that I was like, this is what I want. What's his face?
Yes.
That freaking show on Discovery Plus that now I'm like obsessed with and I can't remember his name. That you sent me in New York.
Oh, Rajiv.
Yes. It's
Rajiv
like
Surrender. Mm. Surrender. Mhm.
this is what it should be. Like, like, what is it? 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 like like, let's write a letter and have it be the
Yeah.
prettiest thing in the world. Like, 10% more delicious,
Mhm.
please. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I
let's
know. I
all
wanna make a
be
cutting board. I
that
wanna
girl.
Yeah.
Let's all be that girl.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
I don't know.
I agree. This is actually a great segwizzle. A little
It
segue.
is, but it is. I've already been to therapy today. That's what I'll say. That is what I'll say.
That's a big day.
I've already been to therapy, and now
Big
we're doing
day.
this. It is. It was ambitious. I looked at my schedule and I was
Yeah.
like, my schedule. Ugh. I looked at my ways to make sure I actually do something during the day is really what I should call it. My ways to like whatever. And I don't know. I was like, wow, ambitious.
That is
Ambitious.
ambitious. A lot of talking.
Yeah,
A
to
lot
go
of
to
yelling
therapy.
potentially.
Yeah, to go to therapy and then to record the pod. What an ambitious move. But here we are.
Check in with me at like 6 p.m.
Right?
But then you're
Yeah.
done. Then also you're done. What really else needs to happen during the day?
Ugh, I know. I mean, adulting, just adulting, just like paying bills. I like
No.
life things. I don't
No.
like them.
Simply no. I fucking hate the word adulting. I
Yeah, can
fucking
we
hate
talk
it.
about that? Can we
I
talk about that
fucking,
word?
because you know what? It's like, yes, yes,
I feel like
yes.
I don't have another word, but I
No, no,
also
no.
understand,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Like, yes, yes, this is hard. Yes.
hmm
However, do we need to sound like we're 7? Like, I have this feeling that's like,
Wow,
that's
wow,
like,
wow. Phoebe is here today, everyone. Phoebe is here today.
I didn't go to therapy yet today. But it's like yes, this is hard, but there's
hmm
also a certain level of responsibility I
Oh,
require from people. So it's like,
yeah,
yes, this is difficult. Yes, we are the 40-hour work week, not like whatever, doesn't
yeah.
allow for like life admin.
Mm,
And yes, it like requires a lot of time and effort, etc. I know it's hard. I don't like to fucking do it.
yeah.
It's got to get done. Should we call it self-care? I don't fucking know, but like,
Mm. I'm literally trying to remember this book that I read recently in this journey of like trying to do less that I can't remember the name of because I've already been to therapy today. And um
is it the Doing Nothing book?
thank you. Jeez. Thank you
Is it it?
very
Is that
much.
it? I bet
I think it is.
the one with the
Oh
floral book cover.
my god, what is this book? It
You
has
know
the
what?
sloth on it. Thank you. Doing Nothing is what it's called. Do
Doing
Nothing.
Nothing. I
How to
just
break
always
away. Can I
yeah, no, go ahead.
It's called Do Nothing: How to Break Away from Overworking, Overdoing, and Underliving.
Oh, and they're
And
living. I love that.
Celeste
Underliving.
Headley, I think, yeah. And there's a part in the book because it's quite technical, this book,
Mhm.
and it gets into the research and it gets into like what are we actually doing when we're at work,
Yeah.
and right, and like what I thought was interesting is that we have these ideas of like this 40-hour work week, whatever, right? But most of the time, people who are working and living in that way, that have the 40-hour work week, that have an office that they're going to, are actually doing like life things most of the time.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
We're online shopping, we're paying our electric bills, we're running an errand during our lunch, we're
Yeah.
and we're working simultaneously. And I don't know, just like the argument for these things and like the hours and
Mhm.
like if we took that energy, could we have more vacation and like all of these things
Mhm.
that like Celeste breaks down, which is really interesting. But it's like this adulting stuff, quote unquote, like that's just there. I feel like most people who say adulting are also like not really adults, which we can get into. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I think a
Like,
lot of people that say
like,
adulting have like a lot of time to fucking do that. Like they have like
yes,
a lot of resources to do the hard things.
Yes, yes. I
A
was about
thought.
to go there. I was about to go there. And then also, like, I think that's what I mean by, like, not adults, but that might be, like,
Yes.
unfair to say, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like, I don't know, I don't know if I've ever heard a 50-year-old say adulting.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is a term
Yeah.
that 20-somethings,
Yeah.
early 30-somethings
Yeah.
use,
That have like a
um,
lot of fucking time.
that have a lot of time that can schedule in adulting, you
Mhm.
know? So me,
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah,
know?
me as well. Me as well. I
Um,
think that's like a funny thing though, because I was like this idea of like being a self-employed person, I feel like very weird doing certain
mm,
like I used to have a 9 to 5. I used to go to an office every day. And if I said I can't come in, I'm coming in late because I have a dentist appointment, that's like fine. Like
mhm,
that was always fine. And like that's like fine for I would say most office jobs. Like, you know, it's like most 40-hour kind of situations.
I would
Um
freaking hope so. Yeah,
yeah, I'm well, yeah. Also, I will also say, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Um, but like as a self-employed person, whenever I need to get like a life admin thing done, and like the rest of the world also operates between 9 to 5, and like this is a whole other episode, but like, do I need to be working 9 to 5? Absolutely not. Do I chain
no.
myself to my desk sometimes? Absolutely yes.
Mhm,
And this like I don't know, when I do need to like go do a life admin thing, like, or it's like not even just life, like body, house, you know, like
mm, mm,
cleaning my teeth, going to my osteopath, like
mm.
getting your passport renewed, you know, things like this. It's like, oh, I'm a bad person. What? I don't
Oh.
like that. That's fucking weird. Like, yeah, like there's like things need to get fucking done. Things need to
Yeah,
get done. And
yeah.
like if we have certain and like here's the thing. Oh my gosh. Ugh, I'm gonna reference a statistic I can't remember all of, which is so annoying. And I was gonna say when we were trying to think of the book name, like listening to a podcast, just yelling exactly what you know it is, like yelling on the other side.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
um,
yeah, oh, yeah. Or
but
being like, "That's wrong." I'm that
yes,
person. I'm like,
yeah,
"That
yeah,
is incorrect," which is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so gross. It's
Yeah.
so gross. Yeah.
So all that to say is, welcome to the frustration zone, listener. Listen to this. Um, there is it's like I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a statistics like the like if you are listening to this essentially, like if you have like running water, access to like expendable income, and like expendable income, and like can you afford to buy a coffee or not, you know, like I'm
Mhm.
not saying like go on vacation every year, um
Yeah.
like I think it's just like some sort of like regular-ish income. We are in, and it's like this is the majority of people, like housed people in North America and like quote unquote westernized countries make up, I think it's like 10% of the population has that. Like we act like this resource is
Mm.
so both
Mm.
like this resource, like we are so, I don't know, marginalized and popular at the same time. And it's like we are so like essentially what I'm saying is like, listener, if you have headphones in your ears, like we have time, we
Mhm.
have resource, you know what I mean? Like there is
Mhm.
so much access that we do actually have in this world where yes, it's hard, and like yes, things could very much be better, but like what are you gonna fucking do, not get like not pay your bills? Like I just I
Yeah.
think that's like, can we not be 7? Is my frustration. It's like, no, you didn't
Mm.
ask to be born, but
You have a responsibility to it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah, yeah,
see.
yeah. And if you have stuff to share, then fucking share it with the people that like, I don't know, man.
Mhm. I mean, are you talking about this term adulting? Like, do you feel it is used in a negative way or in a complaining way or in a
Complaining. Complaining.
oh,
Complaining.
okay.
And I don't
Mm.
I think being alive is like a miracle and a gift.
Yeah.
Especially, I think I feel that way, especially after the last, 2 and a bit years. I lost people, like young people, to COVID. And I just, like, being
Yeah.
alive is a gift. It is a
Yeah.
gift. And if you have some sort of, like, I, when I truly, like, my flip it and reverse it is like, oh, I have to pay a bill. How lucky am I? How lucky am
Yes.
I? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like, don't fucking complain about this. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
To
Mhm.
get to the nugget of the thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like there's like real problems. There's like real
Yeah. Yeah.
sadness. Yes, it's hard. I'm not going to say it's not hard
No.
because I will also complain about it at the same time.
Yeah, you'll also be like, "Oh my gosh, I should be doing something else right now," or
Yeah,
whatever. Or I
exactly.
should be working. I should be working, but I'm grateful that I can walk to the post office. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
whatever at the same
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
Two
of
things can
course.
exist at the same time.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What a way to look at that. Thanks, Phoebe.
I think it's just, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't
No,
even
I
call
get
myself
to.
I wouldn't even call myself like a positive or optimistic person, but it's just like, yeah, I
Yeah,
get to be alive today. Um
and also like,
and also cuz like I had days where I didn't want to be fucking alive, and so like I'm going to feel grateful that I can feel alive today. You know?
yeah, and feel alive walking to the post office,
Mhm.
and maybe that. Whoa. Bringing it around is really the point of that girl, is like
Yeah. Oh
feeling
yeah.
alive and being grateful that you can write a letter, being grateful that you can, like, whatever, and
Yeah.
making it this like beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, yeah. Um
Wow.
well, I do also want to talk about patriarchy in a shocking
Yeah,
turn of
let's do
events.
it. Let's do it.
I I wanted I what is this question? Do you feel like we should stop celebrating patriarchy? Do you feel like we can ever stop celebrating patriarchy? Can we ever? Will we ever? Is it possible to have any of these celebrations without having patriarchy present? I just asked you 70 questions in a row.
Yeah. So this is such an interesting, like, it's, I'm so glad we're having this conversation because I myself am having a wedding party.
Yes. Yes. Which is why.
So all of this,
Yeah,
yes.
I
And
asked
then,
this question.
yeah, right. And then that you did the the
Mhm.
illustration for my invitations.
Yeah.
And then also I feel like in the last week, 2 weeks, it's just like everybody's up. Everybody has reached out to me recently and said, "I bought a house. I'm having a baby.
Funny.
I'm engaged." Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
So I was so, yeah, I'm excited that this is the question for
Well,
the
and
week.
it's funny because I really couldn't. So I had said this already, but like my initial thinking was, is this episode about weddings? Is this episode about
Yeah,
marriage? Because weddings and marriage are very different, I feel. Is
they
this
are.
episode about baby showers? Is this episode about getting engaged? Is this episode about buying a house? Like, is it about, but then I was like, oh, it's milestones. It's like these big
Mm,
general milestones, like, which, like, are they? Um, or
yeah.
the thing that we celebrate, the thing that we're celebrating. So I think that's just kind of my question, is like this, I know it's kind of like maybe a bit boring. I will also say I find it extremely boring when people complain about marriage. Like, I find it extremely one-dimensional to be like, and weren't weddings even just an exchange of goats? Like,
What was the voice? Where the hell? What? Who did you just become? You know who you just became? You became what's her face in Minx. That's who you just became. Oh my god, what is that character? What is the character's name in Minx? The journalist.
Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
you know, I find it kind of to be a little bit, and like that is a conversation that would have been maybe relevant. Actually, I love and Minx the like the 70s like feminist like liberal
Oh,
college group.
that
Like,
scene is so
fuck.
good. Yeah.
That's how I feel sometimes. And so it's like
Yeah.
this I I do kind of find this conversation to be a bit boring sometimes when people are like, yeah, marriage, like, is it even whatever? It's like things can evolve and grow. Like, come
Right.
on. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also,
Her name, the character's name is Joyce Prigger,
oh yes,
by the way.
Joyce. So you can stop yelling at your phone now.
Anyways, woo. Yes. So yeah. No, it's like that's like easy, right? It's easy to
Totally.
go to like, oh, this is just an exchange of property, blah 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 blah. Like it's easy, you know, or whatever. Like where does
Yeah.
marriage live in the church, in the state, etc. Like those, like that's just like whatever.
And we can call it that, but I fucking love this line in the new Little Women where Florence Pugh as Amy is
Mm,
like, I can't remember it exactly, but it's like marriage is not like, you can't, like, for women marriage isn't just like, I don't get the opportunity to choose for love. I like, don't
mm,
tell me that marriage isn't about like class status, like getting better for
yes.
myself, creating a life for
Yeah.
myself, which I think is the frustrating thing that I feel about modern marriage now, is this like emphasis on love. I mean, this is Esther Perel's whole thing, long-term relationships and love. Like, we've conflated the two things together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I dislike the, like, let's be honest with ourselves. Like, what is marriage actually providing for us? Is it love forever? Is it stability? Is it declaring, like, you know, is it like an act that
Yeah.
feels important for you to do in front of your family? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like, again, marriage and weddings, I'm kind of calling the same thing here, but
They're
I
not.
think the frustrating, no, they're not at all. And I think the frustrating thing I find in all of this stuff is just like, it's a performance, and I don't get me wrong, I love a show. But like, let's be
But
honest about that, it's a performance.
mhm.
Like, let's
Yes.
say what
Yes.
it is. Let's
Yes.
say that this is a play and we are all the players here.
Mhm. 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 It is theater.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Who's
You know, like
directing the
I don't know.
show?
Like also too, like recognizing that like this might be getting a little bit into like the where we don't want to go, right? Like the easy argument. But like
Mhm.
ritual in that way in history
Yeah.
is it's that literally is all it is. It is
Yeah.
theater. It is pomp and
Yeah.
circumstance. It is devoid of any meaning. Like
Mhm.
like that is the point. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? I don't know. I think like being honest, yeah, and like being truthful about it. And again, I think shame
Mhm.
is a huge a huge thing around this, right? So it's like releasing I don't know, any shame that you might feel about wanting to be part of the pomp and circumstance, about wanting to
Mm.
like just have a fucking party. Like I think
Yeah.
like that is I don't know. I my whole life was like I'm never going to get married because obviously, I mean it's a young like it's you know, you're
Yeah.
7 everybody's like when they're 17 I
Yeah.
really want to get married. I mean I like whatever, right? And maybe not everybody. Me. And
Child of divorced parents.
exactly. Exactly. And you know, and I also think you know, I was just telling my friend who you know told me about their engagement. Like nobody knows what they're going to want. Like this idea that we know what we're going to want around these kind of like traditional steeped in patriarchy like things until it happens to you.
Yeah.
It's like you have no business. It's like with
Yeah.
anything. You have no business saying like what you would never do or
Yeah.
do. Like we just don't
Yeah.
have any business getting into that territory because we don't know, you know? And
Yeah.
yeah, so like it's like why are we doing these things? And like can we be honest about them? And if it is a
Yeah.
show, it better be the best fucking show I've ever been to. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
well,
let's
I
go.
mean, this is
Like,
the thing, right? Like, I think my general distaste of weddings is that they're fucking boring and long.
mhm.
Like, why do I need like 24 hours for you to do something with your like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hello?
Mhm.
Hello, expensive. The food,
Yeah.
why is this food bad? You know, and I
Oh
feel
my
like
god. I cannot tell you.
and
That
the
is like
thing,
my biggest thing. Oh, it's the worst. Yeah.
it's yeah, it's just yeah, don't even get me started on the vegetarian options. It's like, would you like boiled asparagus mush like, at this
Oh
banquet
no.
center? And I think the funny thing about this as well is like, again, this performance is like very specific, so we have very specific ways of doing it that are like
Mhm.
kind of, maybe I always think it's so funny and weird when you go to somebody's wedding and you're like, this is not you. Like, you don't look like that. You
Oh,
don't
this
you
is
don't eat this
tricky.
food. You don't like, what
Mhm.
is happening here? And I think this is I think this is like part of the nugget of weirdness I find, of like, what are we doing here? And like, everybody's kind of playing this role that doesn't really feel like it fits them exactly. And it's like,
Mhm.
the food's bad, the music's bad. Oh my god. Like, have you been to a wedding with a bad DJ? It's like the most upsetting thing. And everyone's complaining and no one wants to be there, but we all say yes. Like, I find that deeply
Mhm.
confusing.
Oh, oh, oh. I mean, we could take this so many ways.
Mhm.
The obligation
Oh,
around
yes.
milestones
Yes.
and the competition
Yes.
around milestones, the
Oh,
obligation, the competition,
competition.
like right, like the Bridgerton ritual of
Mhm.
I have more money than you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The like that has been that's in all of this stuff is like, ugh, yeah, like you're right. It's like everybody's playing a part, everybody's doing this thing. It's like very, I don't know. It's like it's manufactured. We all know it is.
Yeah.
We all know it is. Like we all know there's obligation. We all know there's competition. We all know that we're all like, who are these people that we go
Yeah.
to these things at? But we go anyways.
Mhm.
Um, what is that?
I don't fucking know, and I don't get it, and I really chafe against it. And like, I don't like doing things I don't want to do.
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't,
Mhm.
and it makes me want to die, quite simply. And I do think part of that is, I mean, personality, whatever, but it's like, I I I and I don't think I'm special that way. Like, I don't think most
Mm.
people, so I but the thing that I don't understand is why we do it anyway. Um,
And I think it's like that's what I think is part of the obligation competition thing of like
mhm.
I had to do this for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to
Yeah.
want this thing or I'm going to turn
Yeah.
myself into somebody who
I
wants this
pulled
thing.
my fingernail off for you, so give me a
Yeah.
fingernail back.
So give me a fingernail back. Exactly. Like that idea. And like I am literally on that side of that.
Yeah.
As I've been planning this thing, I'm like, where is that choice coming from? Is
Mm.
it because you had to go through this thing that you hated and now you're
Mhm.
just like, or whatever? Or it's like, or is this something that do you actually want that to be a
Mm.
part of this or whatever? Um,
Ooh.
and I think like, no, I think like maybe not enough people are doing that. And,
Yeah.
or like, I don't know, like I think it's like a show of, I don't know, like everybody's showing up anyways and doing it is almost like this weird self, like I will sacrifice my fingernail for you. Like I will this is to show how much I love you,
Yeah.
that I'm willing to go through this
Yeah.
charade,
Uh-huh.
through the labor of
Yeah.
attending these things, right? Like because
Yeah.
it's labor and
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's money,
t-
it's
it's
time.
money, it's time, it's like and like it's like a proof then too, right? Like, oh, I'm proving how much I love this person by
Yeah.
going through all of these things.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of it is unconditional
No, you know what? Oh, I love that.
or
That is
any of
very
it.
intelligent. And I think, like, I really deeply respect honesty. And
Exactly.
I just, like, I really value that. Like, even if you're gonna be a dickhead, like, I actually,
Mhm.
even, or if your motivations are quote unquote bad, you know, like, I do really value honesty,
Yeah.
and I think that, like, that's the irritating thing. And you know, part of my, like, thing I get annoyed about this is, like, where's my celebration? You know, like, I'm gonna,
Mhm.
it's exactly that. It's, I peeled a fingernail off to go to this stupid thing.
Yep.
Like, where's the celebration of me? I don't want to get married.
Mm.
I don't want to get married. I don't want to have a wedding. I accidentally talked my partner into not doing these things. That was, like, part of our dynamic for a long time, was, like, I had
Mhm.
no interest in it. And I think, you know, if I was with somebody that really wanted to, or was, like, our circumstances changed in whatever way, like,
Yeah.
I I understand, you know, like, I understand the, like, it's a tool. It can be a tool. Um
Yes.
and I'm not, I don't know. Like, if it were to benefit me in some way, I think I would allow that.
Mhm.
I don't have, like, such high morals that, like, I'll hurt my life, but I have no interest in it potentially right now. And
Thank you for saying that. 'Cause
yeah.
that's my whole thing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. I think okay, so the episode of Sex in the City where where Carrie is like registers herself at Manola Blahnik because like she's got the friend who makes her take her
Mhm.
shoes off because
Right.
she was having a baby shower. And the whole point of the episode is like, where is the person who doesn't want to do all of these things? I mean, that's
Mhm.
not true. It's not inclusive. It's where is the like the single white lady, like whatever, like
Yeah. Yeah,
like
yeah.
who is like working on her career and doesn't want to get
Yeah.
married, and like where is her celebration, right? Like
Well,
that's
and she
really what
also
it is.
ends up getting married as well.
Exactly, right? Like, where's like, and Carrie's got that whole speech where they're like walking down the street, eating tasty delight, her and Charlotte, and she's like, after graduation, like, where is the celebration for the single female that has nothing to do with being
Yeah.
married, like blah blah blah, that whole thing, right? And it's like, this is the question
Yeah.
of what are we really celebrating? And
Yeah.
I think, was this you? This was you. I'm bringing this up. I'm pretty sure that it's like what we really should be celebrating is the choice.
Yes.
And that should get all the attention. Like if we break down
Yeah.
these things, it's like the choice to get married,
Yeah.
the choice to have a baby,
Yeah.
not not the wedding, marriage, not the baby having, you know what I mean, should be
Yeah.
the thing that we celebrate, which is actually, if we look at other culture, right, or other cultures, if we look at other traditions, that is what's celebrated, like outside
Mhm.
of this eurocentric thing, right? Like, is the choice, the like transition, the
Yeah.
becoming the new, right,
Yeah.
version. And yeah, I think that that is what we should be doing, is the
Totally. And, like,
choice.
it's the choice, it's the decision to do something. Like, and I think, I mean, I was talking to a friend who is trying to have a baby and, like, you know, can't get pregnant right now. And I think, like, this kind of gets wrapped up in, like, you know, for like, my friends, they're like, they're queer, like, they can't have a kid the same way
Yeah.
like, you know, heterosexual couples, straight couples do. Um or whatever. Like, there's just so much fucking nuance tied up in this stuff. Even talking
Hmm.
about it, it's so hard. You can't paint a black and white picture because it's not black and white. And, like,
No.
that's the thing that's stupid and dumb. It's like this, like, we
Yeah.
can take all of these people with all these different identities and, like, put them in a mold. And so I think, yeah, I think, like, I your baby shower is dumb. Like, your baby shower is dumb. I don't want to go and, like, there's all these, like,
Nope.
weird baby shower games that are, like, so fucked up. And I have these friends that will say, like, yeah, screw the gender binary, and then still have a gender
Mm.
reveal, like, still have a very gendered baby
Ooh.
shower. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You say one thing and your actions are completely incongruent with the other. And it's
Yeah.
like, what's the truth? Because do you actually believe in this thing, or do you just want the Instagram photo? Like, come on. What are we
Yeah.
doing here?
I mean, I don't I mean, I don't know about your friends. I mean, those, I don't know, like, that sounds like maybe like you know what I mean? Like, I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
it's not. I
like, you know,
I don't get
yeah,
invited back to these things very often
right,
either. Yeah.
right, yeah. Like, I'm like, but yeah, yeah, no, no, totally. And I don't know. Yeah, the honesty. I think the honesty is
Yeah.
so key. Like, it's just so
Yeah.
key. Like, and I think we can make whatever version of celebrating
Mhm.
these passages, right, into a new space, into a new time, into
Mhm.
a new being of person, like whatever, as long as we're being honest and truthful to who we are. And if that means I want to feel like a princess for a day,
Oh my god.
like, let's go. And like, what does the full integrity of that look like? Like,
Totally.
because I think that there is also this, I think there are people
Yeah.
who are like, I want to be the center of attention for a day. Hi, me. I wanna, I want, you know, but
Yeah.
then it's like, then they get kind of trapped in what the option of that looks like, which
Yeah.
is all these traditions that we're talking about.
Yeah. Oh,
And they don't
totally.
know how to break free of those things in a way that, like, this is what we keep coming up against.
Yeah.
This is what Jack and I keep coming up against, is people being confused that we're
Mm.
trying to do things a different way, right? Or like,
Mhm.
not necessarily like wanting to stay respectful to what we're doing, but only having the reference point of a traditional
Yeah.
hetero wedding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like, be honest, be the brave one that's like helping folks along, like do whatever you need to do to be honest to yourself and like be
Yeah.
honest to the people around you,
Yeah.
like,
What have you changed your mind about?
I think I've changed my mind about living in the United States.
Yeah.
Okay, so like everybody goes through this, like the whole like privilege of being able to flee, right? Like
Yeah.
privilege of being able to leave.
Yeah.
Are you going to stay, make things better, blah, 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 blah,
Mhm.
blah. And like, I think I can do both
Yeah.
because I would have to have citizenship in two places, right?
Mhm.
Not citizenship, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something. Maybe.
something.
Maybe.
What is that word? Maybe I'm right. I'm very rarely correct. I think that, yeah, I think I'm really, really like, what else is out? Where am I going? What are we
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah,
I deeply understand and relate to that. Yeah.
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 And I don't think, again, I don't think it's an either or.
Mhm.
I think it's a both and.
Mhm.
And I think you can love a place or have like home somewhere,
Mhm.
right? And still do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And also like go be somewhere where you feel safe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think the world now, maybe right now, can kind of accommodate both of those things. Am I like accommodate? Can
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
possible
Yeah.
now in 2022. Maybe not would have been before, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's it. I think I go back and forth and I've once again changed my mind.
I mean, I think that's the cool thing because it's like, I mean, I probably will say this every single time we do this, but I I think that's the fun thing about changing your mind is that
Hmm.
you can change it back again. I've had that thought a lot. Like I don't want to live where I am living anymore. I'm very frustrated. I just want to leave. But I do also imagine scenarios where I like come back, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know.
And I would be excited to be excited, to like this place
Hmm.
again. Yeah.
Hmm. I just feel like we're not going, like, I think a lot of the words. I think a lot of the like wake up that's happened in the last like 5 years,
Mhm.
it's like too late.
Yes.
Like, and I think like, not that it doesn't matter, not that it's not important, not that like all of these things, but it's, you know, to be in the streets was like a while ago,
Yeah.
and I wasn't. And I wasn't, I'm not saying I was out there. I was not out there. I was not
Yeah.
out there 10 years ago when it actually probably would have mattered,
Yeah.
like, and I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
This week, I am not hopeful,
Mhm.
you know?
Mhm. Yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any, yeah, I just mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yep.
I've changed my mind about Haim or
Oh,
Haim. Haim, the band.
okay. Thanks.
That I used to think they were dumb. And that was
I,
probably internalized misogyny. I'm not gonna lie.
oh,
Probably,
yeah.
most likely that. And heard a song
Yeah.
and I went, this fucking rocks. And so instead of fighting it, I let the pleasure of being alive wash over me and now have a whole new band whose catalog of music I get to enjoy.
Beautiful. Love it.
Also, you want to
I
talk about
thought you were
that
referring to,
girlies?
oh,
That's who I think
yeah.
I am.
Mm, you are in some ways. You're welcome.
Don't.
Um, I I was like waiting because I was like, I think they're talking about the band. And I was like waiting for you to be
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
the band. And I was like, all
Mhm.
right, great. Because I'm I don't do we know what it is? Do we know how to say that name? Do we know?
You know
Does
what?
anyone know? Is that part of the art that no
Part
one
of my
knows?
romance has been following them on TikTok. Very fun.
Oh.
Very, very funny and
I've
fun.
heard the choreography is really something to get behind.
I mean, here's the thing. I think my dislike of it started from the choreography because I was like, what are these limbs doing everywhere?
Really?
But that is how I move in the world, so I need to shut up.
I mean, I'm into the snaps. I've heard there's some snapping.
They're
I have
snapping.
not witnessed any of this, by the way.
Well,
This is
I
all
was
what
going to
I've
say,
picked up.
I follow them on TikTok and they say it all the time and it hasn't clicked into my
Oh,
mind.
oh,
So,
oh, oh, oh,
I
oh.
think that we do know.
Okay, great.
I just don't.
Yeah, I think colloquially, no one knows.
No one knows.
It's like saying like, I don't know. I was gonna have a smart comparison, but
I
nothing
was going to
is
say it's
here.
like any American accent versus Canadian accent. I'm like, truly, what the fuck are you saying right now?
I have not witnessed. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Okay, liar. Like,
I know, I've lied. You're alone, Phoebe.
yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah,
alone.
yeah, yeah, okay.
All right,
Good for us. We've changed our mind.
we've changed our mind. Here we go. I don't know. For me, like the celebration part is about the fact that I've been with this person for 12 years. Wait, shit. That math might be wrong. For a long time. And the celebration is that we got through our 20s
Yeah.
and are still together. Like like the
Yeah.
things that we wanted to do in our relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want a piece of cake for that.
Yeah.
I want people looking at me in a pretty dress for that, because
Yeah.
like that is the hard work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like that, it did mean something to me. Like, I always thought I would never want something like this. And
Yeah.
we got married at a courthouse. I don't want anybody to see that stuff. It's like different vulnerability,
Yeah.
right? Like saying our vows in a garden by ourselves with my best friend. Ourselves and my best friend Carly.
Yeah.
Like like taking the pictures.
Well,
Is
but like people that are
like
involved in like that are a
like
part of this thing,
this.
not fucking
Yes.
200 rando people that like,
Yes.
I get
Yes.
invited to these weddings sometimes. I'm like, you just want me to come and give you money. Like,
I have legitimately been invited to things that I'm like, why the hell am I
truly,
invited to this? Like,
truly.
why am I on this guest list?
Yeah.
And since I actually kind of have a different opinion of you for putting me on this. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, this is the type of person you are.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh,
yeah.
like you like, no, thank you. You know, like I just don't. Yeah.
But like, I want to celebrate, like, that is an amazing thing to celebrate. And like, that should be a thing that is celebrated. Like, you're like, this is not a fucking easy thing at all. Like,
Nope.
not a walk in
Nope.
the park. Not a walk in the park. My 10-year anniversary is on Thursday, and will I make it? Who's to say? Like,
But you have already had so much celebration around that one day. And
yes.
that should be the focus of these things.
Yeah.
For sure. And I will say that I think it's pretty common for people who, especially around this kind of marriage wedding thing, and even actually I've heard this from parents too, around babies. There's something about being in front of community and pledging these things. There's something about being in front of community and saying, I will be this type of person.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of does solidify the sense of responsibility, because if Jack is only husband to me and not husband to everyone, then like that loves me, like like he's not, like it's a different responsibility. You know, I don't know, and I feel that way. I'm like, oh, now that I've done this, I'm like, oh, I'm Jack's wife, and like other people now see that I'm Jack's wife, and I am now on a, not like necessarily a higher whatever, right? It's not about that.
I get that.
It's just like, oh, I have a different responsibility to him now.
Well, and yeah, absolutely. You've like pledged your commitment.
Yes.
In front, absolutely. I think it's Shan Boodram who does like, the 1 + 1 = 3 kind of thing, like the triangle. And that, you have like two individuals and then you have like a marriage, which I think I really do like love and respect. I would rather fucking die than be a wife.
Yeah.
Like,
great.
I would just,
Yeah.
like I just want zero part of that. And like, this is where patriarchy gets really, like, I really feel the stuff deep inside of me. Because like I don't want a husband. I don't even like calling Simon like my boyfriend, like very much my partner.
Yeah, I called Jack my partner before we got married.
which is like a whole,
and I still do.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, like, and when I say wife and husband, it's like what those words mean to the world, right? Like that in the context of that example, right? Like not what they mean to us, you know, but like there is this layer of like, oh, he has a different responsibility to me now because other people recognize him as that word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just or reverse for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think like yes and no.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, like, I feel like a lot of this stuff, like, it's, like I said, it's like a lot of patriarchy deep inside that like, makes me want to just revolt against it. And like a huge part of it to me is like my queer identity. And like, I never saw myself I never saw myself in a long-term relationship with a man. Like, that's a whole other thing. And I don't know what our relationship would look like. Like, I did not think when I was trying to make out with a boy at a party 10 years ago, I would be where I am now, And so I don't feel the need, desire, or interest in making a pledge to anybody, to something that I don't think I could hold myself to be totally honest. Like, I don't have There's like,
Yeah.
you know, my commitment is tomorrow. My commitment is, or like, actually, to
Mm.
be honest, my commitment is today, you know, and like my commitment
Yeah.
is like, that is so up for negotiation to me. And also, like, to me, the celebration is like you were saying, like the years before it, the days before it.
Mhm.
I don't fucking know what tomorrow brings.
Oh, no.
And I don't know
No.
who I'm gonna be tomorrow.
No. But yeah, for sure. But also, I don't know, if I can challenge you a little bit on that. I mean, the promise that you make today to Simon,
Mhm.
it's still it's a powerful hope, faith for tomorrow. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I
and
mean, I'm
it's a
being dramatic.
choice.
Yeah.
No, I know you're being dramatic. I'm just saying, like, it's a choice every single day. Like, we think, I mean, I guess this is the patriarchy what we're talking about, right? Like, we think,
Mhm.
oh, you get married, la di da. Like,
Yeah.
that's the end of the story, right? Like,
Mhm.
that's the, right? Like, the fairy tale, blah, blah, blah. Um, but really, that's when the shit is like
Totally.
the worst.
Totally.
like like
Totally.
really hard, and the choice every day and all of that is like, I don't know, I want to celebrate anybody who wants to celebrate that. I want to celebrate you and Simon for being together for 10 years and for making that choice every day and saying, I don't know who the fuck I'm going to be tomorrow, but today I love you. That is like huge.
Totally.
Yeah.
But we don't celebrate things like that culturally.
No.
Like, we
No, we
don't.
don't. No, we don't. But I think we can.
I think I should have done more research for this. And by more, I mean one Google. But there is a Scandinavian country that I think, or it's like something that you can opt into. It's called a sunset marriage, where you only get
Mm.
married for 7 years. And like
Mhm.
after 7 years, you have to make a recommitment to that.
Yeah.
And like that, I could get into, you
Yeah.
know? But
Yeah.
like, I don't know, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I just don't know. Um,
Yeah.
and I think it's
7.
like, I don't, yeah, I'm like, I'm open to the experience of that. And it's like, if again, the honesty, you know, if someone wants to celebrate that, then
Do it.
just write that on the invite.
Ah.
It doesn't need to be a 12-hour ordeal.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
can we get a nice vegetarian option, please? If I'm
Mhm.
gonna show up.
Yeah, like what, like, I don't know. And then there's like this whole industry, which we haven't even gotten down, right? This
Oh
whole like
yeah.
industry and all the capitalism of it, right? And like all these things.
Well, the Instagram of it all too, right? Because
Oh
there's very specific
God.
photos you have to take, right?
Yes, it's a
Like, do
whole
people
thing.
actually live life, or do they, this is very boomer, but like, do people want to do these things, or do they just want the photo? A lot of my really good friends
Oh.
don't fit into this mold.
Right.
They just
Right, but
don't. And I want to celebrate that shit. And I don't like
mhm.
where, and it's like it comes back to all this queerness again, and I think queerness to me really just means like outside of the binary of any kind, which, if we're going to be really honest with ourselves, I don't think a lot of people fit into this thing, and I think it does a lot
Mhm.
of damage to most people to assume
Yes.
default to these certain positions.
Mhm.
And that sucks, and I think that's why we end up with shitty weddings, or we end up with like crappy baby showers or whatever, because we
Yeah.
default to the stuff that's doesn't serve anybody. Like,
Yeah.
why are only women at baby showers?
Oh,
What
please,
the
don't
hell
even
is
get me
that?
started.
What
Also,
the
like, why do
hell is
babies
that?
need so much shit? Like, can we also talk about that? Like, why are we buying so much shit for babies? Okay, so yes to all of this, but that's what I'm saying is like, I feel like I've been, just speaking of personal experience, I've been to kind of gatherings and celebrations that actually are outside of these things that
Mhm.
signify like, again, the transition, the choice, the like really feel like the people, fuck the traditions of what we usually see, all of that stuff. Yeah, but I think celebrating in general, it just makes us feel more important,
Totally.
right? Like
I
it just
mean,
makes us feel like what's the point of being here, right? It's just like it's like creating that idea, right? Or like
mhm.
soothing that idea of like I don't matter, there's a million of us, blah, 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 whatever. It just like comforts that we matter.
Oh, I love an oyster and a glass of champagne and a piece of cake. Like truly. Like, and I
Yeah.
celebrate literally everything. I just
you
don't
do.
know. I just don't know if like this is my question. Like if patriarchy, if it's involved, like why are we doing it then? Like, can we celebrate any of these things without celebrating patriarchy?
Right, because you're right, because there is still kind of like, why are we here?
Yeah.
And we're here because even if this is a different delineation, or even if this is like perfectly characterized to this person and what they're celebrating, the fact that we're all here means we're repeating something that has been told, like passed down through patriarchy or whatever, to be seen as significant. Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
think
don't know.
I mean, like, what an episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I think generally, like,
Yeah.
can we? I don't know. And like fuck. I mean, even if somebody wanted to celebrate patriarchy, I would be like, hats off to you, friend. Like, go for it. Again. But like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? What are we doing? And if it is a performance, like, could we get the script? Can we just
Mm-hmm.
say what it is? Just say what it is.
Yeah. I've been getting so frustrated during what we're doing. And I think it's because I don't want to give everyone a script. I just want them to know me and to just understand what's happening. And it's like, no, actually, so many people in my life who I love are like, like, you gotta tell us. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah.
Like we don't know because we live in the patriarchy, right? So like
Yeah.
you gotta tell us. And
Yeah.
I haven't wanted to do that. And I just needed to be like, okay, fine. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially if you're like your expectations are different too. Like, I want you to have a nice wedding,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I
And it's
think
interesting. People don't know what to call it. People are like, is it a wedding? Is it a wedding party? Is it a
yeah.
reception? Is it a blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I've been calling it a
And
wedding party,
yeah,
but
Jacques, you have to decide now and it has to make sense to me. Mhm.
exactly, because
Mhm.
I don't understand what it is outside of these things. Um, I've had a lot of people reach out and want to be involved in things that we're just not doing. And I don't know. There has been a lot of like explaining and
Yeah.
justifying.
Yeah.
The worst has been the vendors and the
Yeah.
capitalism around
Yeah.
ugh. And I'm not even, honestly, most of the people that are doing like helping with this thing are friends. Like I'm
Yeah.
not even hiring like randos really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all of it's like, congrats on your engagement. What's your blah blah blah's,
Yeah.
what's like whatever. What's your future husband's name? And are you gonna have this and that? And there's just like this assumption,
Mhm.
and even when I stop and say like, I know that, okay, sidebar, I know we're not talking about this. I know we're not talking about this. And I know I'm going into my soapbox. And I know that this is a larger, more complicated question
I mean,
about
if this
like
not
the world.
this is what this is.
But
Welcome.
here we are. Here we are. Okay. But like, I just want to put it out there that like, I'm self-aware to know that this is not what we're talking about. But I feel like I don't know. I have to, people are uncomfortable when I'm like,
Mhm. Yes.
I'm like, no, my husband. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I told you that we got married at the courthouse and that we're just like celebrating with
Yeah.
friends and family now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so he's my husband, not my husband to be or whatever the hell
Yeah.
you're saying, or my fiance. Kill me, that word.
My fiance.
Like, no, like, I'm not saying that. Like, no, like, I don't know. I didn't get engaged.
Yeah.
Like there are so many things. Whatever. And I'm not, again, be engaged, have your life, just like be honest about it and have fun and do whatever you want to do. Bring exactly what we're saying, bring some joy into the horribleness of being human. I just like, I don't know. It's been interesting because people like, they don't know what to do with it.
Well, I think I think that's exactly right, right? Like people, and I think I had told you this. Somebody had asked me the other day, they'd
Mhm.
said, how, because people look at Simon and I,
Mm.
and you can go, well, okay. You can
Yeah.
kind of go, you can make an assumption. But then also, I think if you see either of us alone, there's like a question mark over our heads. We get the joke all the time. We're
Mhm.
like, I think people think we're siblings.
Oh,
Because we
100%.
have the exact same hair and we like our nails done the
I
same
mean,
way. And like we
yeah,
share each
yeah,
other's clothes. And
like
so,
twins.
yeah. And
Yes,
so
Jack and
there
I do the same
is,
thing.
yeah. I
Mhm.
mean, yeah, exactly. And so I love that. It's like, what's that? Siblings are dating. Um,
Mhm.
and so
Mhm.
I think there is, there's assumption, and then there is a little bit of a what is going on. Um,
Yeah.
and a lot of the time when I say like, this is Simon, my partner, who is a man, people get very confused by that. And so somebody had asked me the other day, they was like, how would you describe your sexuality? And did I tell you this? Did I not
I
tell
think
you
so.
this?
Wait, I don't know.
And
Keep going.
I call myself gay or queer. Like it just kind of depends
Mhm.
on which direction the wind is blowing. And
Mhm.
people don't fucking like that answer. They don't
Mm-mm.
fucking like that answer, because then they go,
Mm-mm.
but I think that's a man. And
Oh,
well, then what are like, and then it needs a whole
yeah.
explanation. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't, to
Who
be honest,
cares? Like
I don't fucking know. I don't
yeah,
fucking know.
like
Does it matter to you?
yeah, like what are we doing? What are we doing? What
Yeah.
are we doing? I honestly I feel like and this is a practice because of
Hmm.
ooh, I was far from my mic. This is a practice because of things because of white supremacy, because of
Yes.
patriarchy,
Yes.
all of these things, right? It's a practice for me to even do this. But
Yeah.
I like can we just like all agree to stop making assumptions about anyone ever?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
about anything
Oh,
with
yeah.
anyone ever. Right?
Like you
Like
literally never know. You just
like you
don't.
don't know and it's like if you always are working from a place of I don't know, like whatever it is, I don't know who you want to have sex with. I don't know how you feel right now. I
Yeah.
don't know like anything. If we just work from that place, we can all be more vulnerable and honest and loving. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
like don't assume how anybody feels anytime. Don't assume how anyone loves anytime.
Yeah.
Don't assume how anyone has like sex anytime.
Yeah.
Don't assume how anyone like just don't assume anything ever. Even
Yeah.
from people that you feel like you really know. Like
Yeah.
just don't.
Yeah.
And like I'm sorry, I am on a soapbox. Sorry. Is that even right? No,
Yeah,
that's not right.
sure.
I'm on a whatever.
She's on
Crusade.
something. Yeah.
Like and again, I'm yelling. I'm yelling because this shit is hard. Because it's hard.
Yes, it's hard.
It's not easy. And I'm yelling because I'm also yelling at myself right now. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
I don't know. And like what is like why are we so uncomfortable with this?
Yeah. Well, cuz it's completely separate from the script.
Yeah.
From the script that no one will even admit is the script.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that is childish.
Yeah. 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 Oh.
That is the pain. Well, now that our both of our collective blood pressure has risen, can we even attempt to answer this question?
No.
I
I
guess, should we stop celebrating? Do you ever feel like we can stop celebrating the patriarchy?
yes.
Yes.
I do feel that.
Yes.
Yes. I
If
think we can.
if you are honest and allow space for the gray area.
Yes. If you're honest, if you allow space for the gray area, and if you release shame,
Mm. I
if
love
we just
that.
let go, like if we just release shame and we just, you
Mhm.
know, I mean, that's the way to really, I mean, Brene, that is the way to really anything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, we did it.
We have fixed the world.
One
podcast episode.
Another one down. How many more to go? All right. Bye, Jacque.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for listening to Do You Ever Feel Like?
Follow This Chaos wherever you get your podcasts.
Our artwork is by Simon Peng. Do You Ever Feel Like is produced by Jacqueline Wills
and Phoebe Taylor. You can follow us on Instagram at doyoueverpod.
You can write to us at doyoueverpod@gmail.com. Okay, bye!